All right, back to this story that we mentioned at the top of the show. There's new fallout now over California's decision to try to opt out of a federal program that was designed to detect and deport illegals. Now, the state is now on the verge of a major break with federal immigration policy that was put in place by President Obama, and Janet Napolitano has enforced it. So how should the Justice Department handle this would-be defection on the part of some of these counties? Joined now by Lars Larson, syndicated radio host, and Bob Beckel, who worked in Carter's White House and is a Fox News contributor. Of course, gentlemen, welcome. Good to have you here today. So basically, this law that is called Secure Communities Program, it says that if you book somebody, once they're in jail, you can take their fingerprints and then you can submit them for a cross-reference on any, illegal immigration issues or other legal issues that have come up, so that you get a handle on who this person is who's sitting in the jail and whether or not you need to be aware of other issues that might be related to them. Lars, is that your understanding of this law?
Absolutely, and it's exactly what states should be doing. Illegal aliens, like it or not, are populated by the millions in our country. They come here, they take jobs, they send billions of dollars out of the country, and unfortunately, they're involved in more than their share, a larger proportionate share of criminal activity. States should be looking out for their own citizens by saying we're going to identify these illegals and then alert the federal authorities so they can be deported. Now, the Obama administration has not been great on deportations, and neither was the Bush administration. But it would be nice to see states stand up for their citizens. In this case, California is selling out California.
All right, so California, the Assembly, Bob, has passed this, and that it would allow some counties, we know San Francisco County, Santa Clara County, have said that they want to opt out, they don't want to participate in this program. But, what could possibly be wrong with running a cross-check? Isn't that what we should be doing when you bring somebody in?
No, and I'll tell you why. First of all, Larry's comment about higher incidence of crime among undocumented workers is just wrong. But secondly, there are three types of people. There are people crossing the border illegally that are caught that ought to be deported. There are people who have criminal records who ought to be deported. But the rest of these people are people who are settled, whether you like it or not, in the communities, and they're not going anywhere. They've got families.
But
and when
Bob,
you take
that's
one
not
of them,
what we're talking about here. We're talking about the example that you just mentioned at the top of your description. These people are booked in a county jail. They've been brought in and booked in the jail. So why would you not double check if they are on any other lists? Terrorism, any other lists, we should know once they're brought. How many times have you heard of someone being pulled over at a traffic stop and it turns out that leads you to the serial killer you've been looking for 10 years?
This law requires in the Senate the Immigration and Naturalization. How many white people get picked up with misdemeanors you think are going to get fingerprinted and sent to the Immigration Department?
I think they should all be fingerprinted.
Well, you think they all should, but that's not the way it's working. That's the way you think it ought to be working, but we know there's a hell of a lot of illegal Irish and Canadians in this country, and you don't think they're going to get stopped and fingerprinted, do you? I don't. That's where the racial profiling comes in.
When you're brought in under this program, and this is President Obama and Janet Napolitano should also be out there sticking up for this program. And Lars, is there any indication? I know Janet Napolitano actually said that you cannot opt out of this program, and she's on record as having said that.
Well, and that's good. And wouldn't it be nice if the federal government was as strong about this, insisting that states stay involved, as they were about going after Arizona just said, we're going to enforce the federal law on illegals. And Bob is ignoring something important. As prosecutors will tell you that if you book somebody in who's a foreign national, you're obligated to afford them the opportunity to contact their consulate, Bob, whether they're white, black, or some other color. It doesn't matter. You're obligated to do that. This helps to make sure that we're affording those people their rights. Lars, if you take a foreign national, book him, and don't afford him contact with his consulate, you may end up with a flawed criminal case against that person.
Lars, there are about 13 million undocumented workers settled and living in the United States.
If you
think for a minute those people are all going to go home, you're out of your mind.
But
you got to have to get a policy here.
Bob, but you're ignoring the main premise here, which is that the person. No, but the person has been booked. They're sitting in a county jail.
For a misdemeanor,
this is not. We're not talking about gathering people up on the streets and checking their papers. We're talking about people who have violated, are suspected of having violated the law, and are sitting in a jail. Wouldn't you expect, Bob, if you had 45 traffic violations, right, and you got booked and you're sitting in the county jail, aren't you sitting there thinking, Uh-oh, here we go. They're going to get every single one of those other violations of mine.
There was an instance of a guy being stopped for speeding, which is a misdemeanor count. He was Hispanic. The police took him down to the police station, which they don't normally do on speeding charges, and they fingerprinted him and sent it to the INS. He was shipped out of the country, and his family was left behind.
Good.
Now,
good.
Yeah,
because
that's right, Lars. That's good.
No,
that's
but
good.
here's the thing,
you know,
Bob,
Lars.
Bob,
you're jumping all over Obama.
Obama's
the one who came up with this law, and you know you can't even say something nice about that. But that's all right.
No.
Well, he hasn't been doing a good job on deportation.
The question is whether or not they're going to stand by it, Bob. And Janet Napolitano says they will. So we'll see.
Yeah, they say they will, and I think they're wrong.
Right,
I just happen to think they're wrong.
And by the way,
thank you,
Martha, here's the problem. I watch this in my local community. Far too many illegal aliens are involved in drunk driving. They end up killing Americans, and Bob wants them back on the streets.
All right. And
mowing your lawn, Lars, and mowing your lawn is what they're doing.
What else you may have broken under the law in the United States. I think that, you know, should go without saying. Bob, thank you. Appreciate your input. Lars, thank you. Obviously, it's a hot topic. We'll see how much the administration does to back up that Secure Communities program that they put in place. It's a big story.